Hey there UKDCers, today I have this on the table, which is another knife on loan from Carl Pearson, at British EDC on Instagram. Go and check him out, he's an absolutely fantastic bloke. Thank you very much for the lens, sir. This is the TiTech or TiTech Titanium Knife Damascus. I think it's the TK11 is what they actually call this. And this is a frame lock. Now, that's why it's on the second channel, because it's a frame lock, and so far as I understand the law, that means you can't legally carry it in the UK without a reason. That said, I'm not a lawyer or the police, so, you know, do as you will. But, yeah, just as I read it, this isn't legal to carry. That said, let's get on with it. Box is fairly simple. You get that. You get a very, very basic little pouch. It's certainly nothing to write home about there. Very basic box as well. The knife, however, is actually quite lovely. It's well, it's a very small Damascus steel titanium handle. I think steel screws. I mean, they're magnetic. I've already tried that. They look anodized. I mean, I don't know if you can anodize steel. I don't think you can. But I'm certainly no expert. I'm familiar with anodizing aluminium and titanium. That's it. If you can anodize steel, then sure. But as you can see, the handle is not magnetic. Those, however, the hardware. There you go. The hardware is. Not that that means too much anyway. I mean, this could still be just a non-ferrous kind of other kind of material. Anyway, that side, this is Damascus, and you can clearly see it's got a sandwiched steel in between the two Damascus layers. The only other knife I have which is Damascus is this Mcusta, I think it's a Tsuchi. And this is exactly the same Damascus, like I think it's called laminated, where you've got the two layers of Damascus, and then in the middle is the actual steel you're cutting with. It's VG10 in the middle of the sandwich layer on this one. On this one, I have no idea. It doesn't say. This is available in a non-Damascus version with a D2 steel. So it could well be D2 sandwiched in between the two Damascus layers there. But I certainly don't know for sure. This is just £17 for titanium Damascus. So if you want to experience Damascus in person, because it is quite beautiful, and it does make for a very nice thing to look at when you're, you know, just using your knife or whatever. It's a very affordable way to get your hands on some Damascus. This one was significantly more expensive. This was about 110, I believe, when I bought it. No idea what it goes for now. It's probably gone cheaper now, but this is an absolutely wonderful entry level. And I gotta say, like I said, I'm no expert on Damascus at all. You're talking ultra high end stuff usually. I'm sure this doesn't compare to, like, you can get branded Damascus, so they sell it in like a stock, bar stock, and you can get things like Odin's Eye and things like that, and it's all different patterns. I'm sure it doesn't compare to that, but I mean, it's not bad. Look at that! Like, you've got a lovely variation, and you know, to sort of weigh against that, I have some definitely cheaper Damascus on hand. I have these two knives, which are, they're not terrible, they're just not, they've got some pretty significant flaws that I wouldn't have spotted when I first bought them, but now that I know a little bit more, you know, I've got a couple of knives, and I can quite easily spot the problems. So there's there's like the Damascus I had before. It is real Damascus, so I've etched it and stuff. But you can see it's not quite as fantastically brilliant as that one is. These are very ho-hum sort of designs, I guess, whereas this has, you know, these lovely waves going across the blade here, and then all these like eyes up here, which is lovely, and then you've got the sandwich steel coming through on this bottom bit here, which is what that is, I assume. Whereas on these, I don't think this is laminated. I think this is just solid Damascus, which is you know, not great. But I'm not gonna say the brand of these because I'm not looking to slam anyone. Yeah, and I just closed the blade and I heard it get blade wrapped then. Great. Anyway, back onto this. So you get this, I assume this came with it. Yeah, it does. I can see in the picture it does. You can fit 2.5 fingers on there, at least on my hand. Oh yeah, let's probably show you the size, I guess. So that's a standard Victorinox. That's the Pioneer, and there is the classic SD. And you're definitely talking keychain knife territory here. That is way closer to the classic SD than it is to just a standard. So now that sort of puts this in an odd position. I think this is definitely one to just sort of, if you're just looking to get your hands on some Damascus, or you know, I don't know, you want a cheap little knife just to open some lovely letters with at your desk or something, this would fit the bill. We can't legally carry it, so the keychain knife thing's sort of out unless you can get away with one of these at work. And I mean, it's as far as lock knives go, it's where it's so small to be used around the house. You can get far more useful for far less, well, not far less, but you get far more useful for less money. You know, bigger blade real estate, better ergonomics kind of thing. So I think this would really make absolute wonderful sense if that lock was an issue. If this was a slip joint, I would be 100% on board with this. It's like I said, it's really not bad. It's just our laws sort of invalidate the point of this knife, I think. It's definitely meant to be a lovely little keychain knife that you pull out, and it's very impressive to look at. As it stands, it'll make a very nice letter opener at your desk, or just for cutting string or whatever you need it to do. You don't want to overwork Damascus anyway, because it scratches up very easily, and then you lose that pattern. Although you can always re-etch it, but you're never going to get it quite as good, I don't think. But yeah, there you go. Oh, and then you've got this lovely machining on the show side, drops, and then just nothing on the lock side there. I'm not going to take this apart. I assume it's a captive pivot there. Can we see the washers? Yes, we can, and they very much look like that. That is a phosphor bronze from what I'm looking at here. In fact, it looks like a couple sandwiched together. But yeah, there you go. Oh, and you get a match strike nail nick, which is sort of weird for a frame lock. But I guess if you're in Germany, this would make wonderful sense, because I think you can carry a one-handed opening knife if it doesn't lock and is under a certain length, or a two-handed opening knife if it a locking knife as long as it doesn't one-hand open kind of thing. So it makes sense in countries like that, I suppose. Just unfortunately not over here in Blighty. So thank you very much. Cheers.